the view that even if the PRC released the two Michaels at that moment, opposition parties would view the PRC's action as an affirmation of the effectiveness of a hardline Canadian approach to the PRC. See that?
Yes.
When were you first made aware of MP Dong expressing this view?
If there's an idea and it will make Canada look better and make the tainted perception of Canada look better in the world, Trudeau will say, fuck it, because it came from a conservative. At what point do we understand that you can help your party, but then you take it to a point of evil? Let's have a look at this interview with Trudeau on what he knew and how come this man can't listen to any opinion if it's not his own or someone agrees with him. Let's have a look at
Prime Minister. TRN 6 called up, please. Mr. Prime Minister, in preparation for your testimony here today, have you been aware that MP Han Dong confirmed under oath at this inquiry that he spoke to PRC officials on multiple occasions about the two Michaels while they were held in captivity in China?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And am I correct that the two Michaels had been taken into custody and detained in China commencing in December 2018 until they were released at the end of September 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Would you agree with me that the detention of the two Michaels was a very high profile and very sensitive matter, both in Canada and abroad?
It was certainly very high profile, and it was a detention that caused us to mobilize broadly. It was certainly a very difficult experience for the two Michaels and their families, but it was also something that mobilized an awful lot of not just Canadians, but our partners around the world.
Thank you. We've heard evidence and seen evidence in this inquiry that at least one of the conversations between Mr. Dong and the PRC General Consul General in Toronto was intercepted and monitored, that it touched upon the two Michaels in some respect, and that at least a summary of the intercepted conversation exists. And I have a couple of questions for you regarding this intercepted conversation.
Just before my friend does, I'm not sure whether the details the assertion he's making is one that can be found in the public record, but I'm happy to hear from him about that. I would urge him to refer to the summary, the topical summary on this issue.
I'm going to come to the topical summary, but if I could ask the Prime Minister generally, when were you first made aware that Mr. Dong had been having conversations with the PRC Consul General regarding the two Michaels?
I can't recall offhand at what point that was.
Do you remember what year, sir?
Perhaps there's documents that refer to the meeting that I can talk about publicly, the various briefings that I've had when these allegations came out. I believe this was the source, this was a matter disclosed in the leaks in the fall of 2022, and it was only subsequent to those leaks that I became aware of those conversations. So it would have been late in 2022.
You don't believe you were made aware of any such conversations prior to that?
No.
Okay. And could I ask that can some two be called up, please? And I believe Ms. Chowdhury took you through this document to some extent earlier. This is a summary of intelligence held by CSIS and the intelligence agencies relating to Han Dong and his communications with the People's Republic of China relating to the two Michaels. And I take it from your answers earlier, you reviewed this document in preparation for your testimony here today?
Yes.
And there's a summary of 5 points relating to this intelligence. Can you confirm, and I think you may have, that aside from your review of this particular document in preparation for today, you have received intelligence briefings and information that is reflected in each of these 5 points?
I have 6 points on mine.
I may have misspoken. You're correct, quite correct. 6 points.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Can I turn your attention to point 4? Perhaps you can review that. And while you are, the second sentence says, MP Dong expressed the view that even if the PRC released the 2 Michaels at that moment, opposition parties would view the PRC's action as an affirmation of the effectiveness of a hardline Canadian approach to the PRC. See that?
Yes.
When were you first made aware of MP Dong expressing this view?
As I said, this was subsequent to leaks. But let me also just say that
I don't care if it's a leak. It doesn't matter. This was something that you take 2 human beings and you use them as pawns, and you do this for your political party, for Team Trudeau, the Trudeau brand. It's evil, and he just does it because he does not want to make the Conservatives, which are going to be racist, misogynist. You pick all the little things that are, you call people names. That's what you do. He cannot say that they do something that actually makes sense and is right. That's not good. You have to go against it. And we have I think Trudeau also made a comment about Alex Jones, that he said that Pierre is a, I don't know, nice guy or whatever. And he's all upset about the far right, or this is who you approve. Like, Alex Jones is a nut job. I don't think I've ever listened to more than 15 seconds of what he says. If I did listen, it would be a comical sadness of watching some mental guy talk about stupidity with Alex Jones. Like, if you want to watch something that you think is bonkers, you listen to him. And I don't even know why he's relevant anymore. And then you have Hamas praising Trudeau for what he's done, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. So how do you pick and choose your losers of who should praise you or not? Is it Trudeau, or is it the World Economic? Klaus Schwab has to approve what you can say or not, because this is getting a little sad with how far he has to protect the Liberal brand and screw over Canada. That's fine. No problem whatsoever. Let's keep listening to Trudeau here.
It's aware of information alleging that MP Dong expressed this views. As has been previously stated, there have been significant questions around both translation and summary of the actual exchange that, you know, I don't think I need to read the first page filled with caveats around incomplete, single-sourced, varying degrees of reliability, you know, not necessarily indicating corroboration or reliability of sources. So there's a lot of uncertainty around even the things that we're saying in the summary, that we're seeing in the summaries.
Can I ask you, Prime Minister, have you personally reviewed that summary?
This summary?
No, the summary of the intercepted conversation.
Madam Commissioner, I'm concerned that we're getting into a sensitive area. I'm frankly not sure. I'm not sure.
I can say yes to that, though. Yes, I have personally done that. But there's not much more I can say about it.
That's fine, thank you. Can we call up COM 118, which is the Special Rapporteur's first report that was produced or dated May 23, 2023?
COM 118?
Yes.
Just a minute.
And I'd like to go to page 26, small Roman numeral 8. There's an analysis of a piece of reporting that Han Dong advised the PRC consulate to extend the detention of the 2 Michaels, Global News, March 22, 2023. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and immediately below that, Mr. Johnston comments on how there has been considerable media attention about an alleged transcript of this conversation. You see that?
Yes.
And he then says, I have reviewed the same intelligence report that was provided to the Prime Minister relating to this allegation, which I am advised is the only intelligence that speaks to this issue. I can report the following, and we're going to come to the following. My question now, though, is, Mr. Johnson tells us that he reviewed the same intelligence report that you did, and that this is the only report that exists that speaks to this issue. So my question for you is the following. Is the intelligence report that Mr. Johnson is referring to there CAN-SUM 002 that we just looked at, or is it something else?
I'm not sure the witness can answer that in this setting.
So we'll note the question.
Okay. And are there other reports that, for now we'll go with written reports, either hard copy or electronic, that you're aware of that perhaps were not shared with Mr. Johnson that might relate to precisely what was or wasn't said between Mr. Dong and the PRC official?
I'm not certain I can answer that question
For the same reasons.
for reasons of security and confidentiality,
Thank you.
national security.
Thank you. Have those reports, if there are any such reports, have they been provided to the present commission?
Again, I'm not sure I cannot confirm or infirm the existence of any other reports that I cannot speak to here.
Thank you very much. Mr. Johnson then gives his assessment of that particular allegation as follows. He says, the allegation is false. Mr. Dong discussed the two Michaels with a PRC official, but did not suggest to the official that the PRC extend their detention. The allegation that he did make that suggestion has had a very adverse effect. Do you agree with that assessment, sir?
Yes, we know that the media reports and the allegations made in rather a spectacular fashion about Mr. Dong were false.
Okay, but would you
In
agree
regards
with
to what he said or didn't say about the two Michaels.
Okay. Would you agree with me, sir, that all that Mr. Johnson was commenting on was what is contained in that heading, that particular allegation? Mr. Johnson didn't comment one way or the other about whether what else Mr. Dong might have said to the PRC counsel, read the two Michaels, was correct. So, for example, in CAN-SUM 02, the conversation is stated slightly differently.
I'm not sure the witness can comment on what Mr. Johnson was or was not commenting on.
Mr. Prime Minister, I have very many more questions, as you might imagine, but I simply don't have the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. De Luca.
Thanks for watching it to the end. That document, I'm going to read it, every line of it, because it is a security file that is open now to the public. Let's have a listen and understand exactly what that is. I'll leave a link where I'm going to put that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the YouTube algorithm, because everything's about the algorithm, getting that machine learning to pump it more. So thanks for watching. See you in the next videos. Best of goodbyes.